The couple's shocking account made clear whom the British royal family is willing to protect and marked their relaunch as Hollywood royalty. CBS aired Oprah's interview with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The 2-hour primetime special was the couple's first major interview since they stepped down as senior members of the British royal family in 2020. It drew more than 17 million viewers and generated explosive headlines. The real reason Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are finally speaking up against the royal family. Over the course of the interview, Harry and Meghan revealed that members of the royal family had expressed concerns over the color of their then unborn baby's skin. Meghan has a white father and a black mother. They revealed that the palace had refused to offer their son the courtesy title and accompanying security that protocol dictated, and that after they stepped back from the royal duties, the palace ceased to offer Harry security as well. The isolation and the harassment from the press were so bad, Meghan said, that she struggled with suicidal ideation while she was with the family. These details were bombshells, but if you're not familiar with Meghan's long battle with the British tabloid press and the institution of the British royal family, it can be hard to understand exactly why they matter. The story of Meghan's attempt to survive the British royal family is a story about an institution whose power is premised on a bizarre combination of wealth, nostalgia, whiteness, imperialism, and vaguely persistent sense of the divine right of kings. It is a story about a family that is also a very literal symbol of empire. And it is about what happens when that institution is faced with the idea of accepting, under any circumstances whatsoever, a person of color into its confines. Here's the context you need to understand the fallout of Oprah's interview with the Sussexes, and to explain why it matters when the royal family exiles an outsider. When Harry and Meghan made their relationship public in 2016, they were greeted almost immediately by a spree of racist coverage from the British tabloid press. "Harry's girl is almost straight outta Compton," said the Daily Mail in one article. In another Daily Mail piece, a columnist noted approvingly that Meghan would thicken the Windsor bloodlines with her rich and exotic DNA. An incensed Prince Harry issued a statement from Kensington Palace decrying the abuse and harassment Meghan was receiving from the tabloids, including the racial undertones of news opinion pieces and the outright sexism and racism she was facing from social media trolls. But the racism was not only coming from the press, it was coming from inside Buckingham Palace too. After Harry and Meghan were engaged in 2017, Princess Michael of Kent met Meghan while wearing a blackamoor brooch, which fetishizes images of slavery. Both before and after the pair were married in a 2018 ceremony, tabloids heavily scrutinized and criticized most of Meghan's daily decisions, down to the time she wore trousers to a royal event instead of a skirt. And as a viral BuzzFeed article made clear in 2020, there was a stark difference between the way the tabloids treated Meghan and the way they treated her sister-in-law Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge and wife of Prince William. When Kate was photographed touching her baby bump, Daily Mail headlines said she tenderly cradled it. When Meghan was photographed touching hers, the Daily Mail asked whether it was pride, vanity, acting, or a new age bonding technique. Kate requested her favorite scented candles to scent the Abbey on her wedding day, but dictatorial Meghan was kicking up a stink when she wanted air fresheners at her wedding venue. And when Kate ate avocados, it was a morning sickness cure. But when Meghan did, the fruit was linked to human rights abuse and draw millennial shame. It is well known and long established that the British tabloids know neither shame nor personal boundaries, but there seemed to be a particular vitriol in their treatment of Meghan, and the palace declined to issue statements protecting her. This refusal was notable because while the palace's official policy is not to comment on rumors about the royal family, in practice, the palace shoots down rumors about members of the royal family all the time. Sometimes those denials are about comparatively harmless rumors, like the idea that Kate had gotten Botox, and sometimes they're much darker accusations. In 2015, Queen Elizabeth's son Prince Andrew was accused of touching an underage girl's breasts at the house of Jeffrey Epstein, who was later convicted on sex trafficking charges. Andrew would later apologize for his close ties with Epstein. Any suggestion of impropriety with underage minors is categorically untrue, Buckingham Palace declared firmly. The tabloids were mounting a war between Meghan and the royal establishment, and they were making sure that Meghan lost. But outside the tabloid pages, Meghan commanded her own considerable star power, especially in the period around her much-discussed wedding day. She was a new and exciting face in the royal family, beautiful and poised, a woman who had a career of her own before she became a duchess, someone who seemed to symbolize a bright new era of modernity coming at last to the staid and traditional Windsors. She was, in many ways, outshining the rest of the royal family, especially when it came to social media. One of the prettiest and funniest ways this outshining seemed to manifest itself was in the saga of the William and Kate versus Harry and Meghan Instagram battles. As outlined by Katie Weaver at the New York Times, while the two young couples at first shared an Instagram account, @Kensington Royal, named for their shared palace residence, Meghan and Harry eventually split off to establish their own account, @SussexRoyal, in 2019. Apparently under the leadership of Meghan, who before her marriage maintained a successful lifestyle blog, @SussexRoyal flourished. It had twice the interaction rate of Kensington Royal and rapidly amassed more than 8 million followers. Still, Kensington Royal always seemed to have more followers than Sussex Royal did. As is so often the case with the royal family, we don't know anything here for sure, but it kind of looks like someone in the palace infrastructure got worried that Meghan and Harry's Instagram was outperforming Will and Kate's, and it also kind of looks like they bought the Cambridges some bots to keep their follower numbers up. This Instagram controversy is a silly and apparently low-stakes story, but it illustrates the dynamic at play. Meghan is very good at being a celebrity. She is good at combining aspirational glamour with a vulnerability that allows people to feel they have made a genuine connection to her. She is good at attracting attention and affection that she can then harness and turn towards the philanthropic ventures of her choice. All of which is, arguably, the exact job description of the British royal family. But when faced with Meghan's formidable skill set, Buckingham Palace did not appear to be excited about the idea of collaborating with her. It gave every appearance of being threatened by her instead. So threatened, perhaps, that it maybe bought a bunch of bots to make sure she didn't have more Instagram followers than her in-laws did. The Queen released her own statement. "My family and I are entirely supportive of Harry and Meghan's desire to create a new life as a young family," she said. "Although we would have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, we respect and understand their wish to live a more independent life as a family while remaining a valued part of the family." The British tabloids flared up in horror. "They didn't even tell the Queen," was the Daily Mirror's disgusted headline. "This can only be described as an abdication," said the Daily Mail. As was by now the pattern, the tabloids placed the blame for the move squarely on Meghan. They even coined a name for it, Megxit. It's hard to escape the conclusion that having grown up in a country that considers the Kennedys to be aristocracy, Meghan didn't understand that being a Windsor is not like being a celebrity, opined the Express. It wasn't about wearing the latest designer clothes to awards ceremonies. It was about getting on with the job. Even the American tabloids got in on the fun.